Hey, good morning everybody. Charlie Anderson from Dreamworx Exteriors. Wanted to jump on real quick today and make a quick video about something that's really important whenever you're doing your roof, and it's very commonly overlooked, and this has to do with ice and water barrier. So as you might know already, but I'll give you a quick little rundown of it. Ice and water barrier is the self-adhering membrane that goes in the high traffic or the high water areas of your roof, so on your eaves and in your valleys. Anywhere that you could have ice forming, anywhere that you could have, an ice dam forming, ice and water shield goes down to protect that area because it seals to the plywood, and so if any water or ice was to get up underneath your shingles, it can't actually penetrate down to the plywood, causing damage. So it's a code required item that you have to put on, at least one row on your eaves or your home where your gutters are at, because that's where the ice dams can form in the winter months. So what I wanted to talk about though is everybody knows you need to have ice and water shield. And as I mentioned, it is a code required item. But some homes, and especially in our area here in PA, older construction, you gotta bear with the noise here for a second. Some of the older construction homes, right, built in the 70s, 60s, they had these really big overhangs on the front. And those overhangs, here, I'll just show you, that's probably an easier way to go about it. So you look at this overhang behind me. Most homes have a 12-inch overhang, which whenever you use one row of ice and water barrier, it comes in a 3-foot roll. And I should back up. The code is you have to have ice and water barrier extend at least 24 inches inside the warm wall of your home. So most all ice and water shield comes in a 3-foot roll. So if you have a 12-inch overhang and you have a 3-foot roll, you will suffice that minimum code to come 12 or 24 inches inside of the warm wall of the home. Now we come to a home like this, the one behind me here. This overhang is about 24 inches, right? It's double the size of a typical overhang. So what we need to do is we need to put 2 rows of ice and water barrier on there to be compliant with code. Now, like I said, because the code, you have to fall 24 inches inside of that warm wall. So that has to go the whole way up. So if we only did 1 row with a 2-foot overhang here, 3-foot roll of ice and water shield, would only be 12 inches inside. And that's not giving you the most protection against ice damming in the winter months. So I'll hop up on the roof here to show you a little better what 1 row looks like and what 2 rows looks like. Pretty obvious to tell, but I think it's a very important thing to be talking about here, because this is ultimately what protects your home from those damaging ice dams. So let's hop up on the roof here. All right, so up on the roof side here, as you can see behind me, we only had to do 1 row of ice and water barrier here because that's actually an unheated portion of the house. It's a carport, so there's no need to be putting extra ice and water barrier there because there's no thermal envelope created between the area of the home that's heated and the area of the home that's not heated, like what's behind me. But what we do is up here on the roof is we put these 2 rows on. This is your first row, and it's overlapped by the second row here. And that is going to give us what we need to suffice for code. And it's actually a little over what we need for code. So the whole point of the video here is if you have an older styled home with that type of construction where you have a big, long overhang, when you're getting estimates for roofs, make sure that your contractor knows this, that they need those 2 rows there. Yeah, they can save a little bit of money by only putting down 1 row, but if you want to be building your roof compliant to the local codes, this is what you have to do. 2 rows down to make sure that you're well covered against ice dams. So we'll check in a little bit later whenever this roof is all done and looking good. And thanks for taking the time to watch, everybody. Take care.